Good afternoon, Andy and Amanda. How are you this
Yeah.
afternoon?
Yeah, it's afternoon, evening, whatever, in the middle of the night. Yeah. I'm good, Amanda.
Full of chocolate.
Oh, yeah. God, you wouldn't believe the amount of chocolate somebody's had over Easter, Colleen, honestly.
Exactly the same as somebody else, because I've been sharing all my Easter eggs with you.
I know. Oh, it was funny, Colleen, on that, to make you laugh, because Amanda tried ordering. It's your story. Go on.
I ordered 2 from a supermarket when I had my food shopping and they were all out of stock. So I just shared my Easter eggs with Andy.
Yeah, and then basically what happened was she got to kind of compensate for that. So my sister turned up with a massive Easter egg for my mum for her. There was a bloody big Easter egg as well.
Shared that one as well.
God, yeah. So we've effectively gone through 4 Easter eggs in 4 days, Colin.
It would have been too much for me to eat on my own anyway. I could have done it, but I would have regretted it.
Yeah. What have you been up to, Colleen?
Yeah, so I've been trying to get my script for my radio show for next Monday because I've done the summary for this week. I sent it off straight after I'd done the script after I'd done the recordings last week. I sent it off, and then just getting it prepared is quite difficult because I have to think in terms of a conversation I'm having with you, and it's like that. So
yeah,
not,
yeah, of course,
it's chatty. Yeah, you can't be like reading off a script because it would sound really mechanical.
Yeah, no, get completely. Yeah, I know people that actually work like that, Colleen, actually in the radio, and it's. Have you ever heard that, Amanda, before now? Where people they go along and ask them the same questions all the time, don't they?
Yeah. There was one we were going to go on, and then we cancelled it when we found out what it was like.
Yeah,
it was so impersonal, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a radio station, Colleen, which I'm not going to name. Bloody awful experience there. They asked me and Amanda to come on, and I tuned in to hear what they were like a week before. And do you know what they did, Colleen? Yeah, they got a guest on once an hour, then put 40 minutes of bloody awful music in between it. And asked them all the same 5 or 6 questions.
Oh, right.
It's no conversation, so it's like you don't turn around and go, "Oh, that sounds interesting. So how did you get into that?" It's just the same questions, and that's it, and no comment or conversation on it or anything.
It's totally, and there's another one I know. We nearly went another one under as well, didn't we? A friend of ours went on. And do you know what they did, Colleen? This is really bizarre, where what they did was they emailed over to her the questions, what they wanted her to answer. And what they did was they read out the questions one after the other live and inserted straight after it her recording of her answers to them.
Oh.
It's what, sorry?
It was live. It was live.
They were live. She wasn't.
That's really difficult then to do, I guess.
Yeah, I found it really bizarre because what they did was there must have been some post-production behind it where they answered the question, asked the question, then inserted it into the actual recording and then moved on. But I found it really bizarre because
it's not like an actual conversation, or is it? You can't make it like an actual conversation if you do it like that.
Yeah, and that's why I think, Colleen, I think you must agree with this. Whenever the 3 of us talk, we're all interacting all the time, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
I'm just going to send my voice in next time.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to be even on YouTube. Because I think with YouTube, it's supposed to be like a documentary. You upload your poem, you upload your play, and that's how it is. I've always done it like that.
Yeah.
I think the other type is when you just go in front of a camera and just speak, but it just sounds so mechanical. I don't know. It doesn't seem to click with me when I see that kind of YouTube. I think it's got to be conversational. Do you not think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you, Colleen. I'm always much prefer if I'm hearing interview programs as a general good tip for people with, like when you're doing like interviews and stuff. Whenever I've done my spoken label stuff, I don't have set questions I want to ask people. I make sure I know what topics I'm talking about. That's a different ballgame. It's something like I know the beginning point is where the end point is. Everything in between it is finding a notion what I'm covering would work our way around it.
That's really good if you know exactly how to phrase your question.
Yeah, it's very, very different ways of doing it. You've got to, I think a lot of it is, I've learned this from experience doing interviews, and I know you do this, Colleen, as well. You're very good at this. Where it's like, it's how you, you understand me and say how you control it, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, because on the podcast I went on last year, there was some that it was really bad, and then there was others that just it was much easier, and it's down to the host, I think.
Yeah. Tell Colleen on herself you as well. Don't have to name names or the programs. That's these bad programs you've been on.
I've had some where like I thought like they booked the time out for like 90 minutes. So I thought, well, I'm not going to say everything at once, I'm going to spread it out because otherwise I won't have anything to say. So then I like started off slowly and I had loads more to say, and I suddenly ended it. I said, okay, thanks for joining us. That's the end. It'll be on whenever. And that was like after 5 or 6 minutes.
Oh, it staggers you, Colleen, doesn't it? What's the worst? Because obviously you must have been on interviews yourself over time then. I'm going to sneeze there. Sorry about this. All right. Now, I've been on some really bad ones myself, Colleen, and I've been on quite a major one recently where they brought on 2 extra guest hosts, which weren't advertised, and it threw it. And base result was what should have been a 15-minute interview for me turned into 3 questions. But have you ever had it yourself, Colleen, where you've been on an interview and it's not gone the way you've wanted it to go, not by your fault?
Oh, I haven't been interviewed yet.
Oh, you never been interviewed? I never knew that. I never knew that.
No, I haven't.
I never knew that. Never knew that, man. There's even a there. I thought knowing you, Colleen, you'd have been on loads of radio programs by now. I never knew that.
No, because I don't know which one to turn to. So now that I've got my own, I just do the interview questions. But majority like to have the questions sent to them so they're prepared. And that's how we go by this. Yeah.
All right. No, I've never done it that way. I will I'll clear a few things with them, make sure I know what points I've got to cover. I don't like it. I try to keep off direct questions. I don't know. I don't think there's any real right and wrong way about it, but providing you actually look after the guests, because I was like, see what you two think at this point, where when you bring a guest onto your program, you've got to make sure they have a good experience with it, really. By whatever means you mean. If they come away at the end of it really happy, enjoying it, you've made yourself a friend for life, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I take them to the cafe afterwards.
Oh, do you? Oh, God, yeah. God, I used to do that. Well, God, back in those days, Colleen, when we used to be able to meet people, God.
I can't remember.
There was quite, honestly, Colleen, I can remember many a time when I used to go meet people before we were going somewhere else and basically meet up with them and basically then meet them for a coffee, chat, we'll do the session. Then the amount of times I used to have Amanda arriving at the end of it. And Amanda, you sitting on the second half.
I used to try and sneak in and just be quiet because I didn't want to take over the interview. And someone used to try and like introduce me, and I was like, "No, it's not my podcast. Leave me alone."
That's a good day. It's a good day. So, right, anyway, Colleen, I want Amanda to do a quick talk, the second part of this now, about copywriting. Because you don't mind me doing this, Colleen, but like it's Monday, you've got a new employer, client. We're not going to name the client, but I want you to tell people here, Colleen, Amanda, about copywriting, about some of the topics you have to write about you don't know anything about.
Yes, so I've got this new client at the beginning of last week, I think it was, and she's got me writing all these stuff for all these different dating websites. So I've been writing about how to tell if your boyfriend's bisexual. I think there's something about gay hookups. That was fun.
I've got smacked.
And then I did a lot of profiles as well the other week, and I don't know what to do with them. That was very strange.
Right.
Because she just said make the names up. So I don't know if that means that these websites have fake dating profiles. So if somebody just says, okay, I like that one, I'll buy it, and then adds their name to it. I don't really know how it works.
What do you think to that, Colleen, then? That's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very odd. I suppose every company has a way of doing things, and she probably would be able to fit that in to her schedule or to her, portfolio.
Yeah, very, 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 very weird. Yeah, I know. I mean, sorry about that, man. I couldn't get my head around that one at all. So, Yeah, it's weird. What I also want to mention, Clean, as well, I don't know if you're aware of this. National Poetry Writing Month has started within literally over the past few days. And if anyone doesn't know what National Poetry Writing month, actually not day, is Napa Widows, where you go on the website, you're given an optional prompt to write a better poem on every day for full of April. I'm doing somewhat on haikus this year, which is a very different project altogether, called Haiku of Life, which I'm writing a haiku a day over every year in my life in April, Clean. So I've got 49 to write in a month. You know, wish we could look at that. I've got.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah,
I'm good in the editing.
I'm sure you're going to do very well.
I'll manage it, but I think I might have bitten off more than I can chew there. Now, but Amanda's doing something a bit weird as well, so aren't you, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm not doing poetry. I'm doing spoof clickbait articles. So they're like the clickbait with the title that's supposed to draw you in, but then it's just like a really silly article underneath it.
Yeah, tell people what's on the articles and we'll find them. Can you remember any of them on top of your head?
I can't remember off the top of my head now.
Well, Dr. Clean, for next week, would you like Amanda to have one of these spoof articles ready for you to read out?
Yeah, definitely. It would be really interesting for our listeners to know what's like.
It's quite interesting. Like, if people are wondering what clickbait is, what is clickbait, Amanda?
It's like when you see the titles that's like such and such happened, but you'll never believe what happened next, just to make you click on it.
Yeah, and you've done one, was it? Tell Clean where this idea came from.
We did on the workshop that Andy runs a few months back. You did a clickbait generator, didn't you?
Oh God, it was hilarious, that article.
And I got 12 things employers don't want you to know. And I enjoyed writing that and thought I'm going to do a whole collection of them. Yeah,
and to got that I remember performed on BBC. We'll be the BBC radio one, Clean. I think that sparked you off, Amanda, didn't it?
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
That's why it's really nice to this. Yeah, it's been interesting doing the haikus. I couldn't do what Amanda's doing, but how are you finding this experience, Amanda?
More challenging than I thought, but once I've got the piece written down, I find that I've enjoyed writing it.
Yes. So, what have you been up to creative-wise, Clean? Have you had much inspiration recently over anything?
Yeah, so I'm doing some poetry during this month, and I'm trying to finish it off so I can just upload it onto Amazon. But with Lulu, so they sent me an email to say that if you look in the frequently asked questions, it will answer your question, but it doesn't tell me where the button is to republish the book that's on there.
Yeah, it's a few minutes. It's worth noting, obviously, people wonder what we're on about with Lulu is. Lulu had a big update last year, and what it did was, and it was, I don't know if you wouldn't have been aware of this at the time, Colleen, they effectively took everything down to update the whole website. And it took about, I had a lot of trouble with this and I gave up. The basic result was people couldn't get onto the website for 2-3 weeks. And then it only uploaded half the books. And then it only uploaded half the actual book itself and missed covers off and blurbs off. And a lot of people, they unpublished an awful lot of material that had been basically active there for 10, 15 years. In your case, Clean, I think you'd unpublished your book, hadn't you? And you wanted to republish it. Is that right? Am I right with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been they've caused a lot of people a lot of trouble that they have, and it's certainly I found the best way to get around it was people were messaging a lot on Twitter asking questions on things, and I've not gone back to it, honestly, because I got a bit knocked off of it. So it's I said, it's a real tricky one when you update websites like that. So keep everyone informed with it, Clean, definitely. So what are you going to do with it then?
I still am going to keep it because it's just because it's been there for so long. Decided I'll just keep it there rather than take it off Lulu, because it's got sentimental value being there since 2007.
Yeah, I've got both your books, and obviously the one's getting reprinted. Yeah. The good books, one with people. If Colleen can get them published again, it'd be worth a read. Good luck with it, definitely. So for that one, Colleen, we've just gone over, unfortunately. So okay, take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thank you. See you next week.